What's up guys, it's Trevor with Embers Living. You guys remember that review I did on the Hestan? I did a cool little TikTok video, called it the $10,000 grill. Actually I had quite a few hits, I was surprised myself. So this is the Hestan's budget model. Those two words don't really seem like they go together. Hestan, budget, doesn't really jive. Let me tell you this much. Although this is their price point model, I promise you it's no budget model. Let's get started. All right, real quick, make sure you guys subscribe to our channel, smash the like buttons, go to our TikTok channel, go to our Facebook, our Instagram, give this a thumbs up, do all the things, press all the buttons, helps us out way more than you guys could ever know. If you're in the Denver, Colorado area, come to our showroom today, see these products for yourself. All right, let's talk about this grill. Now, before we really get down and dirty with this guy, wanted to go over a few things. So if you've watched any of my other videos, when it comes to barbecue reviews, you notice I talk about the American luxury brands, the American made grill brands, all the luxury brands that are super expensive and premium, all of them, every single one of them, what they do is they make an alternate brand that is more budget friendly. And the reason they do this is the grill market just really isn't suited for everybody in the $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, $12,000 space. And so they try to sort of get a bigger piece of the pie with a bigger market share with a price point model. And I've always had problems with these grill brands because you're basically still paying a premium price, although you're not paying what the luxury brands are. And it's quite defeatured actually. So you're paying a premium price, but you're losing a lot of the benefits of the features. And it's still not nearly as good as some of the overseas models, you know, like Blaze, Coyote, things like that. You definitely get more bang for your buck with those brands. So to me, they always get sort of lost in translation. I'm curious to see if this grill's any different, because this is one of those brands. This is the Aspire by Hestan series. So this guy here is the 36 inch. Does come smaller, does come bigger. You can do a 42 inch as well. Before we get under the hood, let's talk aesthetics on the outside. What do you think of it, Chris?
I like the colors.
Yeah, the colors are cool. So that's kind of unique to Hestan, is you can order these in a bunch of different colors. So there's like black, orange, like a burgundy, white, this sort of turquoise Tiffany color. They call it Bora Bora. Don't really know where that color comes from. What's cool though about Hestan is they have a couple unique colors. I think like a purple, a pink, you know, if you really want to get fancy. So that's kind of unique to Hestan, which is really cool. Now this is what I will say about this particular Aspire series that I really think it has going for it compared to the competition. So the other budget US brands are like Lynx by Sedona, AOG, American Outdoor Grill, Delta Heat, which is the budget brand for Twin Eagles. We have Artisan, which is the budget brand of Alfresco. And we have the Aspire, which is the budget brand of Hestan. Here's what this has going for it that all those other brands I just mentioned don't, is it still has that beefy, expensive feel to it. One, because it is expensive. Like it's still not cheap, but it's half the price of a regular Hestan. So you're still spending a premium like you are with even those other US brands, but it doesn't look like it's lost any value compared to the Top Dog, which is my favorite grill. One of my absolute favorite grills is the Big Dog Hestan. I love the way it looks. This particular one, they haven't really defeatured it from an aesthetic standpoint. It still has a nice, tall, beefy hood on it. A lot of the aesthetic lines are the same. Sort of this same Hestan handle. We still have the color options. Really attractive thermometer on here. So it still looks fantastic, and that's why I think it's sort of got an advantage compared to the other American-made budget models. Now, I keep saying budget, but take that with a grain of salt because these are still really expensive grills. Like this is probably a $4,000 or $5,000 grill. It's not cheap. Like it's a premium luxury grill, but in the context of what it is, we're calling it a budget model because the main one is twice the price. So hopefully that makes sense. So when I keep saying budget, take that for what it is. Aesthetically, one of the biggest differences I can see is the Hestan, the regular Hestan grill, the hood comes out to here. Here we're set back a little bit of ways, no big deal there. I'll do a side-by-side video which actually compares the two models. I'm not gonna get too much into comparisons. What we're gonna do is just review this guy. You can order it as a built-in or on a cart. Cart is pretty standard, nothing crazy blowing me away here. Looks like we do get soft close storage drawers. You can do propane or natural gas. The casters do look super heavy duty, and again, you can get them with the cool color accents, or you can do it all stainless steel. Side shelves, nothing to write home about either, pretty basic. They do retract, it looks like. There's a rotisserie motor in the way. I can't unfold it with a rotisserie motor there. There we go. Just have to be smarter than the grill. So it does have side shelves that retract. Again, nothing, cord showing. Nothing over the top that's fancy there. All right, enough of the jibber jab. You guys ready to get under the hood? Quite literally. Should we? All right. So we're gonna kind of learn together here. I do know it has lights. Let's check it out. Wow, there you go. I will say again, they're not skimping. They're not making this look like a cheap grill. It looks like a very expensive grill, and it's big and beefy. What I like about it too is the depth. So we have a lot of nice depth in the grill as well. It's a nice deep grill. Our cooking grates are 21.5 inches deep. That's pretty good. All right, get in here, Chris. So it looks like we have a warming rack. That's kind of cool. Looks like it does. Oh. Let me try that again. Give me a redo there. All right. So it does kind of fold up out of the way. Let's see if it still closes like that. Okay, that's pretty cool. I like that because personally, that's actually a really underrated feature for me, is to be able to fold this up out of the way without ditching it somewhere, because you know the second you take it off the grill, you're never gonna see it again. So I like that that kind of retracts up out of the way. All right, you can see we have two lights here. Then we have our infrared ceramic rotisserie burner. I like that this rotisserie burner is up out of the way. So we do have some nice height here with our spit rod. So we have 5 inches or so. So not the best I've seen as far as height in the grill, but definitely not the worst. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's check out our grill grates themselves. Just eyeballing these, I'm gonna say these are an 8mm, maybe a 9mm, somewhere around there. Solid stainless steel, not much to say there. Let's get these out of the way. All right, now these are kind of peculiar. Get in here, Chris. So you guys know how I feel about ceramic briquettes, is I typically don't love them. My favorite thing on the regular Hestan one is that they are reversible, which allows for easy cleaning and making sure you're always cleaning or cooking on a clean side. That's really important so these don't have flare-ups. And when they're clean, they work great, but they're just kind of I guess a grind to keep these clean. But when you can just flip them over before and after each cook, or just even before each cook, not even after, you're ready to roll. So the regular Hestan ones are completely symmetrical, and look at that. This kind of appears to be the same way. It's kind of a cool design. I've never seen any of these little pucks, ceramic pucks that sit in here like that. You know what it kind of reminds me of? Like Connect 4. You want to play a game of Connect 4, Chris?
It does look like that.
Yeah, it does. So these are reversible, which is really cool. I think that's a very high functional feature. So I really like that. So let's move these to the sides. Let's check out our burners here. So it looks like we do have a U-shaped burner. These are heavy duty, it looks like. Stainless steel. U-shaped burners, I'm kind of like, you know, they're nice, and they're going to be even heat distribution. What I worry about a little bit with the U is I'm getting a little hot in the back, but really it's just going to hit these ceramic briquettes, and that's what's going to promote the even cooking. So shouldn't be a big deal. We're going to fire it up though and test it out. And then we have our infrared burner. Now look at this big bad dog. Now this is a big infrared burner. So you can order this grill a couple ways. You can order it with regular burners, or you can order it with one sear station. You guys know me, I'm a huge fan of infrared heat. I think if you're cooking red meat or steaks, it's a must-have on a gas grill. Absolute must-have. And this one is definitely pretty beefy. It's one of the bigger ones I've seen, huh? Stainless steel firebox. Let's measure our firebox depth. Looks like we got a nice deep firebox. Everything kind of funnels this way, but on our deep side, it's 10 inches. And then we got almost 4 inches between our burners and our ceramic briquettes. Remember that distance, the further away it is going to allow for more even heat distribution across the grill altogether. So usually the deeper the firebox, the better designed it's going to be to create even heat throughout the grill. Because I think if you've got, like, imagine a bunch of million little candles, if they're almost touching the surface, it's going to be super hot where they're touching. If you put them lower, it's going to be more evenly distributed across the board, which when we're cooking with gas, that's exactly what we want. So nice deep firebox. That's what I'm talking about, is even though this is their price point model, it's still not defeatured, which I like. Now, make no mistake about it, the features on the big Hestan are so awesome that it's no comparison. But it's not trying to compare, it's half the price. So for what it is, I do think just my initial eyeball on it, it's my favorite American-made price point model, or budget model for lack of a better word. I think it beats AOG, it beats Delta Heat, it beats Lynx or Sedona by Lynx. It's going to beat Artisan. I think it's visually more attractive. I think the firebox is beefier. I think the whole grill is beefier. You have a much taller hood. One thing I didn't talk about in the hood is we still have spring assisted hood as well too. So you see our springs here, so it is easy to lift up. So I think it's there, and it's going to compete all day long with those other American-made price point models, if that makes sense. If you're curious about any of those other brands, or even the actual big Hestan, which I think is the top dog gas grill that exists today, I'll include links for all those videos below, and you can sort of watch them. All right, let's put a propane tank in this, fire this up. I want to put these burners to the test here. You know what I like about this sort of clear lighting on our control panel is it's very understated. It's very classy, which you'd expect nothing more than a Hestan grill than sort of a classy look. Am I right?
It's true.
Yeah. All right, let's fire this thing up. All right, let's see what kind of igniters we have here. So, come in here. Again, even though we're talking price point, they're not skimping on our burners. We got a hot surface igniter, which is more reliable for flare-ups and more reliable long-term. It's kind of like a cigarette lighter. They don't really go bad. All right, engaged fuel. See what happens. There we go. Now that's a lot of BTUs coming out of that thing. That's a nice burner right there. Look at that. That's on high. Look at that side shot. Look at the height of those flames. So again, what I would be worried about is hot spots. So let me turn this one on. We'll put the ceramic briquettes back on. Let's fire that up. Let's just give this a minute. See how hot it gets. See how quick we get to temp. All right, so we're getting about 10 minutes. Again, my biggest concern with those U-burners is I want to make sure our ceramic briquettes are actually promoting even heat. Because they have these cute little discs that pop up, it's going to be really easy to tell how hot each individual ceramic disc is. Should we test it? Let's check it out. All right, let's go right in the middle here. So we got 430, 435, 398, 385, 394, 415, 450. So it's definitely the hottest in the back, but we're within 40 degrees. You know, it's kind of hot in the front and hot in the back, and a couple degrees lower in the middle. So overall, I think it promotes even heating. I don't think we have never measured these in 1,000 years and show each individual ceramic disc the exact same temperature. Just not possible. But what I'm looking for is, I don't want to see like big 100-degree swings between the grill. That's not good. So I think overall this would perform pretty well with pretty even heat across the board, because you have to remember, on top of those ceramic briquettes, we're still going to have another layer of our actual cooking grates. So by the time it actually hits our cooking grates, that's the temperature we want. So it's just going to get more even the further north it goes, more vertical it goes, I guess you could say. All right, the one thing I forgot to mention too, while I was in here noticing it, is you can order this grill with or without the rotisserie. So you could take the rotisserie burner and rotisserie kit off. It saves you another couple $100. Again, that's just to be able to drive the price down to capture more market share. You're already in an American-made luxury category. I don't know that you really need, you know, a couple $100 here or there. So I would just spring for the rotisserie at that point. Okay, let's wrap this up, and I'm going to tell you exactly why you should buy this grill and who particularly this grill is for. So to me, it's like trying to buy a luxury car, but buying like the most base grade model. The two don't really work. And that's always the trouble I've had with these sort of price point luxury models, is I don't really know where they fit in the marketplace. But this grill actually impressed me. Why did it impress me? Well, one, it didn't lose any aesthetic appeal. I think right away you look at this grill and it looks expensive, it feels expensive, it looks like a Hestan grill. It doesn't look like it's rebranded into a cheaper model. It looks just as nice as the regular Hestan grill. It's definitely defeatured from the regular Hestan model, but a lot of the features are still very, very impressive. I like the burners, I like the lights, I like the spring assisted hood. I love the control panel and all the colors we get to choose. You know, it's got our sort of patented, the patented Hestan handle here. Now this would be really cool. Like let's say you're doing Hestan all throughout the house, and maybe you're springing for all their indoor appliances, which are really cool, by the way. We'll have videos on those soon. They're very expensive. And let's say by the time you get to the outdoor space, you know, you want to do storage drawers and cabinets and refrigeration, barbecue, all their indoor stuff, and you just sort of have broken the bank, literally putting in all this cool Hestan stuff. You could still have a Hestan look, and this is still going to flow with all your other stuff, and you could get the Aspire model. That would be one option. Or if you're someone that really wants to buy North American made products, and that's really important to you, but you also just don't want to spend $10,000 on a grill, this could be another grill to look at. The other reason to get this grill is if you want that sort of American-made luxury style, but you want it to just stand out and you don't want it to look like a regular old grill, definitely look at Hestan, because their stuff really stands apart aesthetically. It just looks a lot nicer than a lot of the grills I've seen out there. That's just my personal opinion. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on what you think of the way the Hestan looks. Again, we're gonna do a side-by-side comparison between this and the regular Hestan and really show you the differences between the two models from the Hestan family. So stay tuned for that video. And again, if you want to see like our top 5 North American made grills, we'll include a link below there. If you want to see our top 5 grills in general, our premium, quality, and luxury categories, we'll also include links for that. Stay tuned for more videos.